Hello, coin collectors and enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel. If you've ever wondered whether you might have a hidden treasure in your pocket change, this video is for you. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins you might not have even noticed, the 1981 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar, which could be worth a whopping $1.8 million. Intrigued? Let's get into it. The Washington Quarter has been a staple in American currency since it was first issued in 1932, commemorating the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the years, millions of Washington quarters have been minted, but like most coin series, some years produced rarer, more valuable versions than others. The 1981 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter is one of those coins. Minted in Philadelphia, the 1981 P Quarter, like most modern quarters, has a distinct design, featuring George Washington's bust on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. But what makes the 1981 P Quarter stand out isn't its design, it's what's hidden within the details. To the untrained eye, it might seem like just another regular coin, but let me show you why this particular quarter is one to look out for. So, what makes the 1981 P Mint Mark Quarter so special? Well, it's all about the mistake. In 1981, there was an issue with the minting process at the Philadelphia Mint. This error led to certain Washington quarters being struck with incorrect dies, some with a variety of unusual characteristics that make them far rarer than others. This error is one of the key factors that significantly impacts the value. Most 1981 P quarters are relatively common and worth only face value, but if you happen to find one of these error coins, it could be worth much more. There are several types of error coins that have surfaced over the years, and these mistakes can drastically increase the coin's value. With the 1981 P Washington Quarter, there was a notable die clash that occurred, and in certain cases, these coins feature unusual doubling or even misaligned strikes. In the world of coin collecting, error coins are highly sought after, and depending on the severity and rarity of the mistake, they can fetch extraordinary amounts. But here's the kicker. A handful of 1981 P quarters were released with a significant die error that makes them incredibly rare, and they're worth a small fortune. In fact, the most valuable of these error coins has been sold for as much as $1.8 million at auction. Imagine finding one of these in your pocket change. Now, let's talk about how you can actually spot one of these valuable quarters. To find the 1981 P error coin, you need to know what to look for. Here are the key. Make sure the coin has a P Mint mark. That stands for Philadelphia Mint. A coin with no mint mark, or one from another mint, won't be the error coin you're looking for. Look for double striking or misalignment. One of the key errors that could lead to a coin's high value is double striking. Look carefully at the coin's design. If you see a double impression of George Washington's portrait, or the eagle on the reverse, you might have something special. A die clash happens when two dies strike the coin with too much force or in the wrong alignment, causing the design to overlap or show signs of misstrikes. If you find an example like this, it could be worth thousands or more. So, let's say you've found what you think is one of these error coins. What do you do next? First of all, don't jump to conclusions. Just because you spot a possible error doesn't mean it's worth a fortune. To make sure your coin is authentic and error-free, you'll need to get it appraised by an expert. There are several reputable coin dealers and appraisers who can help you with this. You can also consider sending your coin to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, who will certify its authenticity and help determine its value. Once it's graded, you'll know exactly what you have and how much it might be worth. So, to wrap things up, the 1981 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter could potentially be worth $1.8 million, but only if it has that rare and valuable die error. Finding a coin like this would be a collector's dream come true, but it all comes down to knowing what to look for. So, take a closer look at your pocket change. You never know when you might find something truly special. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss out on more tips and tricks to grow your coin collection. 1993 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar coin that is worth a staggering $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.6 million. So, if you have one of these coins, you might want to pay close attention to the details we're about to uncover. The 1993 P. Washington Quarter is part of the famous Washington Quarter series, which was first introduced in 1932 to honor the first President of the United States, George Washington. These quarters are minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the P mint mark. Now, the 1993 P Quarter isn't just any regular coin. It has a fascinating story and, if you have the right one, could be worth a lot more than you expect. To understand why this coin is so valuable, let's first talk about the minting process. Each year, the U.S. Mint produces millions of coins. However, there are always variations, errors, low mintage numbers, and even special editions that make certain coins far more valuable than others. And the 1993 P. Washington Quarter is no exception. But what exactly makes this particular coin stand out? To answer that, we need to talk about a specific error that occurred during the minting process in 1993. Now, when the U.S. Mint produces a coin, sometimes the dies, used to stamp the designs, can wear down or malfunction. In 1993, a small number of Washington quarters were accidentally struck with a double die error. What does that mean? It means that the design was stamped twice in slightly different positions, creating a noticeable doubling effect on some of the coin's details. With a double die coin, you can see this in the lettering, such as the Liberty inscription and the "In God We Trust" phrase. The doubling effect can be subtle or more prominent, depending on how the coin was struck. The rarer the error, the more valuable the coin becomes, and this is where the 1993 P. Washington Quarter stands out. Now, the million-dollar question: how much is a 1993 P. Washington Quarter really worth? If you happen to have a 1993 P. Washington Quarter with a noticeable double die error, it could be worth up to $1.6 million. But here's the catch: this doesn't mean every single 1993 P. Quarter is worth that amount. The value depends on several factors. To find out if your 1993 P. Quarter is one of the rare double die errors, you'll need to carefully inspect the coin. Look at the lettering, particularly around Liberty, "In God We Trust," and the date 1993. The doubling effect should be noticeable to the naked eye, especially if the error is significant. If you notice any strange doubling or misalignment in the design, that could be your golden ticket. Now, not every coin with slight doubling will be worth millions, but even a modest double die can increase the value of your quarter substantially. Coins with more prominent errors or those in mint condition tend to fetch higher prices. Let's take a look at some real-world examples. There have been verified sales of 1993 P. Washington quarters with double die errors for well over $1 million at auctions. One of the most famous sales took place at a high-profile auction house, where a rare example sold for $1.6 million. Keep in mind, the condition of the coin is crucial. Coins that are graded as mint state or proof are typically worth much more than those that are heavily worn. So, if you think you've found a 1993 P. Washington quarter with that coveted double die error, your next step is to have it professionally graded. This is where companies like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, come in. Grading your coin will help you determine its authenticity, quality, and value. Once you have that official grade, you can decide whether to sell it through an auction, a reputable dealer, or even directly to collectors. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with a few final tips. Always store your valuable coins in a safe place, preferably in a protective case or a special coin holder. And remember, while it's tempting to sell immediately for a quick profit, it's always worth doing your research and getting expert opinions to ensure you're getting the best price possible. To sum it all up, the 1993 P. Washington quarter with a double die error is an incredibly rare and valuable find. If you've got one sitting in your collection, it could very well be worth a fortune, up to $1.6 million. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and share it with fellow collectors. And who knows, maybe the next $1 million coin will be in your hands. 2001 P. Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar. And we're going to explore how this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth up to $1.7 million. You heard that right, $1.7 million. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's get started. First, let's set the stage. The 2001 Washington Quarter is a part of the famous Washington Quarter series, which has been circulating in the United States since 1932. This coin features the well-known image of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. But before you start checking your pocket change, let me tell you that the 2001 P Mint Mark Quarter is one of the key players in this story, and it's far more valuable than you might think. Now, the 2001 Washington Quarters were minted in large quantities, but one specific error, or rather, one rare variant, has made the 2001 P Mint Mark Quarter the focus of intense attention from collectors. Most of us would probably look at a 2001 P Quarter and think, oh, it's just another regular coin. But that's where things get interesting. Here's the big question: what makes the 2001 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter worth a staggering $1.7 million? The key lies in a very rare and valuable error coin. It's not just any ordinary quarter, it's one that contains an extremely rare double die error. A double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin strikes it multiple times, resulting in an extra or doubled image. This error is especially rare in coins minted in the early 2000s. In the case of the 2001 P Washington Quarter, this error was discovered when the coin displayed a clear doubling of Washington's face and the lettering around the edge of the coin. This doubling is not subtle. If you look closely, you can see that Washington's eye, cheek, and hair all appear as though they've been struck multiple times, creating a shadow-like effect. This is what makes the coin so valuable. It's a rare mistake that few others share. Now you might be wondering, how can I identify a double-die 2001 P Washington Quarter? Great question. To spot this error, you'll need to examine the coin carefully with a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. The double-die error will show visible signs of extra details or doubling on parts of the design. The doubling will usually appear on the obverse, especially around the letters and details of Washington's face. Check out the lettering around the coin, particularly the Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions. If you see any sort of shadow effect or a second, faint outline of the text, that's your first sign you might have a valuable coin. The most prominent feature to check is Washington's face. If his eye or chin looks doubled, you could be holding on to a rare treasure. Now, let's talk about why this error is so rare. Coin dies, the metal molds used to stamp coins, are carefully crafted and checked for flaws. But sometimes, a small mistake or malfunction happens, and when the die strikes the coin more than once, you get a double die. These types of errors don't happen often because the mint takes great care in making sure their dies are functioning correctly. Only a few of these 2001 P double die Washington Quarters have been discovered, and that's why they're worth so much. In fact, one of these error coins was sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. So, if you find one of these in your collection, you could be holding a rare piece of history. Let's talk about the value. Why is this coin so valuable? It's all about rarity and demand. In the world of coin collecting, there are a few key factors that drive the price of a coin up: rarity, condition, and demand. The 2001 P double die Washington Quarter is rare because not many were produced, and even fewer have been discovered in mint condition. When a coin like this comes up for sale, collectors from all over the world compete for it, which drives the price up. As I mentioned earlier, one of these coins sold for $1.7 million, and that's not the only time such high prices have been seen. Depending on the condition of the coin and the market, prices can range anywhere from hundreds of thousands of dollars to even more. If you're lucky enough to find one in excellent condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Now, if you think you've got a double die 2001 P Washington Quarter in your possession, you might be wondering, where do I sell it? There are a few places you can go to get your coin appraised and potentially sold. First, take it to a professional numismatist, a coin expert who can authenticate and appraise your coin. You can also look for trusted online auction houses like Heritage Auctions or eBay, where high-value coins are often sold. But be sure to do your homework and make sure the buyer is reputable. If your coin turns out to be the real deal, you could be walking away with a life-changing amount of money. Alright, folks, that wraps up our video today. I hope you learned something new about the 2001 P Mint Mark Washington quarter and how it could be worth millions. If you think you have one of these rare coins, get it checked out, and who knows, you might just strike gold. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe for more coin-related content. 2001 D Washington Quarter. And guess what? This seemingly ordinary coin could be worth a staggering $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.5 million. So make sure you stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you might be checking your coin collection to see if you've got one of these hidden treasures. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2001 D Washington Quarter is part of the series of quarters minted to honor George Washington, the first President of the United States. This quarter was produced by the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark on the reverse side. Now, on the surface, it looks like your typical Washington quarter, right? But there's more to it than meets the eye. Here's where things get interesting. Although most 2001 D quarters are worth just 25 cents, some rare versions have been known to fetch incredible amounts of money. Why? Let's break it down. So, what's the deal with the $1.5 million value? Well, there's a specific era coin of the 2001 D Washington quarter that has been found to be worth over $1 million, and it all comes down to a striking error. Most errors occur during the minting process, when a coin is struck with either the wrong dies or the wrong metal planchet. In the case of the 2001 D Washington quarter, some coins were struck with the wrong size planchet, which caused the coin to be much larger than the standard quarter size. This is called a Meal error, and it's extremely rare. When collectors discovered this, they realized these oversized coins were not just a cool piece of history, they were incredibly valuable. Some of them have sold for as much as $1.5 million in auctions. But how can you identify one of these rare coins? Let's take a closer look. First, the most obvious sign is the size. A typical Washington quarter measures about 24.3 millimeters in diameter, but these era coins are larger, up to 27 millimeters in diameter. If you have a 2001 D quarter and it's noticeably bigger than a regular quarter, you could be holding on to a gold mine. Next, let's talk about the weight. These oversized era coins are also heavier than usual, weighing around 6.5 grams instead of the standard 5.67 grams. So, if you have a 2001 D Washington quarter that feels a little too heavy or a bit too big, it might be worth investigating further. Now, let's say you think you found a rare 2001 D oversized quarter. The next step is to get it authenticated. But how do you know it's not just a regular coin or a fake? The first thing you want to do is take it to a professional coin grader. They can examine the coin's details under magnification, check its weight, and verify the error. Services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, can help authenticate the coin and assign a grade to it. A higher grade error coin is worth even more. Not every 2001 D Washington quarter is worth millions, but there are other rare versions to keep an eye out for. For example, highly graded examples of the 2001 D coin, even without the striking error, can still be worth more than face value. A quarter in mint state 68 or 69 can easily fetch hundreds of dollars, especially if it's in top-tier condition. So, while the $1.5 million coin is the crown jewel of the 2001 D series, there are definitely other valuable versions of this quarter that could still net you a significant profit. Always check the condition and look for any special features, because that's what makes a coin truly valuable. Finally, if you think you've got one of these rare coins, you might be wondering, where can I sell it? The best way to get top dollar is often through auction houses that specialize in rare coins, like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. You can also sell through trusted coin dealers, but make sure you get a fair price. Remember, the rare 2001 D Washington quarter could be worth a fortune, but it all comes down to authentication, condition, and finding the right buyer. If you do happen to find one of these $1 million coins, make sure you do your research and get it evaluated by an expert. Alright guys, that wraps up today's video. If you think you might have a rare 2001 Washington quarter, don't just let it sit in your collection. Get it checked out. Who knows, you could be sitting on a future fortune. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow coin collectors, and don't forget to subscribe for more coin tips and stories. 2003 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar Coin, and how it could be worth an incredible $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.5 million. So, if you've ever wondered if your spare change could be worth a small fortune, keep watching because this coin could just be your golden ticket. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2003 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar is part of the popular series of quarters that feature George Washington's portrait on the front and an eagle on the reverse. But here's the thing. Most of the 2003 quarters in circulation aren't worth much more than face value, which is 25 cents. However, like with any coin series, some rare and valuable specimens have been discovered, and that's where the story gets really interesting. The regular 2003 P Washington quarters were produced in high numbers, over 600 million of them. That's a lot of coins, which means most of them are worth only around 25 cents. But here's the kicker. A very specific type of this coin, in pristine condition and with certain characteristics, has been found to fetch astronomical prices. We're talking about one that could be worth $1.5 million. So, what makes the 2003 P Washington quarter so special? Well, a few things. The key to its massive value lies in its rarity and condition. A coin that has certain imperfections, a unique error, or is in nearly perfect uncirculated condition can be worth far more than you might think. There have been reports of a very specific error that can make the 2003 P Washington quarter worth over $1 million. This error involves the coin's design being misstruck during the minting process. These errors are so rare that they are considered one-in-a-lifetime finds for collectors. One of the key factors that could elevate your 2003 P Mint Mark Washington quarter is the doubled die error. This is a type of error that occurs when the coin die strikes the blank planchet more than once, resulting in a double design. These double die coins can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes even more, depending on the severity of the error. In the case of the 2003 P Mint Mark quarter, a double die error on the obverse or reverse could make this coin worth up to $1.5 million. This is the stuff that coin collector dreams are made of. Now, how can you spot this rare error on your own 2003 P Mint Mark quarter? Well, it's all about the details. Look closely at the inscriptions, like Liberty and In God We Trust. If you notice that the lettering appears to be doubled, or if the images look like they have a shadow effect, you might have one of these incredibly rare coins. The doubling isn't always easy to see, so using a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe can help you spot it more clearly. Of course, it's not just about the error. The condition of your coin plays a huge role in its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being in perfect condition. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition will always fetch a higher price. So if you've got a 2003 P Washington quarter with a double die error, and it's in perfect or near perfect condition, you could be sitting on a true treasure. To determine the grade, you'll want to consult with a professional coin grader or use a trusted grading scale. The higher the grade, the more valuable your coin will be. While the double die error is the most exciting, there are other types of errors that could make your 2003 P Mint Mark Washington quarter valuable. For example, off-center strikes, die cracks, and even coins with unusual wear patterns could be worth significantly more than face value. It's always worth keeping an eye out for these anomalies when inspecting your quarters. So, if you find a 2003 P Mint Mark Washington quarter with a rare error or in exceptional condition, what do you do next? You'll want to sell it to a reputable coin dealer, an auction house, or even consider listing it online. Websites like eBay have been known to host auctions for rare coins where collectors from all over the world are willing to pay top dollar. However, always be sure to get an appraisal or authentication to ensure you're getting the right value for your coin. There's no rush. Take your time to ensure you're dealing with the right buyer. So, there you have it. The 2003 Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin has the potential to be worth $1.5 million, but only if it has that rare double die error or other unique features. If you've got one of these quarters, it's time to take a closer look and see if you've got a valuable gem in your hands. But remember, not every 2003 quarter will be worth a fortune, so make sure to do your research, get your coin graded, and find the right buyer. 2003 Mint Mark Washington quarter, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into why one of these coins could be worth a whopping $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.8 million. So, let's get started and find out what makes this coin so special. At first glance, the 2003 Washington quarter might look like just another ordinary quarter. After all, it's one of the millions of coins minted each year in Denver, Colorado. But some of these coins are anything but ordinary. The 2003 Mint Mark Washington quarter, in particular, has some incredible stories to tell, ones that have caused its value to skyrocket over time. Let's start by breaking down the basics. First off, the Washington quarter, which was introduced in 1932, features George Washington on the front and an eagle on the reverse side. The 2003 is part of the series minted in honor of George Washington's 200th anniversary, and it's one of the many regular issue coins that you'll find circulating in your change. So why is this coin potentially worth so much? Take a look at the mint mark. You'll see a small D next to the date. This indicates that the coin was minted in Denver, Colorado, at the U.S. Mint facility there. The mint mark itself isn't particularly rare, as millions of these coins were produced. However, the value of these coins can dramatically increase based on certain characteristics. Let's get into what makes some of these 2003 coins so special. Now, you might be asking, what makes one of these quarters worth $1.8 million? Let's talk about error coins, which are one of the primary reasons why some quarters become valuable. There are a few key factors that make a coin rare, and those include minting errors, condition, and demand from collectors. So, let's break these down. One of the most valuable 2003 Washington quarters features a rare and significant minting error. This particular quarter was struck with an incorrect die, leading to an unusual and highly sought-after variety. Coins like these are often known as mule coins or die variety errors, terms you'll hear often in the world of numismatics. But what makes this specific 2003 coin even more valuable is the condition it's in. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition, meaning they were never used in circulation and are essentially flawless, are worth far more than coins that show wear and tear. The more pristine the coin, the more valuable it becomes. When it comes to grading, coins are evaluated on a scale of 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A coin that achieves a grade of 65 or higher, with minimal flaws, can command a premium price. Coins with perfect grades, or those close to it, can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars or more, depending on the rarity of the error and its desirability among collectors. Now, back to this elusive $1.8 million 2003 Mint Mark Washington quarter. There are reports of a coin that was graded at a near-perfect score, with the error clearly visible on the coin. This particular coin was sold at auction for an astounding price, sparking interest among both serious collectors and investors. In fact, rare coins like this can fetch such high prices because of their scarcity and the fierce competition among collectors. At major auctions, a bidding war can drive the price up exponentially, especially when a coin is considered to be a one-of-a-kind due to its unique error or condition. One question many people ask is, how can you spot one of these million-dollar quarters in your collection? Well, it all comes down to knowing the signs of an error coin and understanding how to properly grade your coins. Let's quickly go over some tips. When examining a 2003 Washington quarter, look for any signs of unusual strikes, such as double images, misaligned dies, or errors on the mint mark. If you notice any of these, it's important to consult with a professional coin grader to see if your coin is a legitimate error worth pursuing. And if you do think you have a coin that might be worth big money, make sure to get it properly graded and authenticated by a reputable service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS). A certified coin in top condition is far more valuable than an uncertified one. So, if you've got a 2003 Washington quarter, don't just toss it into your pocket change jar. You might be holding onto a small fortune without even knowing it. Take the time to examine your coins, and who knows? Maybe you'll be the next one to find $1 million coin. 2006 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter. Hold on to your seats, because this little quarter could be worth up to a whopping $1.7 million. That's right, this isn't just any coin, so if you have one of these, you're in for an exciting ride. Let's break down exactly why the 2006 P Washington Quarter is commanding such a high value. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of its value, let's start with the basics. What exactly is the 2006 P Washington Quarter, and why is it causing such a stir among collectors and investors? The Washington Quarter, first introduced in 1932, has been a beloved symbol of American currency for nearly a century. The design features George Washington's profile, which has become iconic in American numismatics. The P Mint mark indicates the coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is crucial in understanding its rarity and how this specific coin came into play. Now you're probably wondering, what makes the 2006 P so special? Well, here's where things get really interesting. By 2006, the U.S. Mint had been producing millions of Washington quarters every year for decades, but one small error would change everything. A few of these 2006 P coins were struck with a unique feature, a die error, making them highly sought after in the coin market. You see, some 2006 P Washington quarters were struck with an extremely rare clash die error. This occurs when the dies used to mint the coin clash together without a planchet in between, creating a striking double image on the coin. The result? A coin that looks a little different than what you'd typically expect from a regular Washington quarter. This error is exceedingly rare, and when one of these coins hits the market, it turns heads. So, where does this coin's $1.7 million value come into play? Well, it all starts with an auction. In 2020, a 2006 P Washington quarter with the clash die error was sold for an incredible $1.7 million at a prestigious numismatic auction. That's no typo, $1.7 million. But how did it go from a regular coin to one of the most coveted in the market? When the coin was first discovered, no one realized just how rare it was. In fact, most collectors thought it was a normal quarter. But once word spread among the community and experts took a closer look, they realized the mistake, one that had likely gone unnoticed by the mint at the time. And once it made its way into the right hands, collectors began to understand just how valuable it was. Experts agree, it's not just the clash die that makes these coins valuable. It's the fact that only a few of these error coins were ever produced. Coin production errors like this are extremely rare, and when they do pop up, they can cause a massive spike in value. In the case of the 2006 P Washington quarter, the combination of rarity, error, and the coin's historical significance made it a collector's dream. Now, let's talk about condition. You might be wondering, what condition was this coin in when it sold for $1.7 million? Well, condition plays a huge role in any coin's value. This particular 2006 P Washington quarter was graded as MS-68 by the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. That means it's almost in perfect condition, an important factor for any high-value coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. But keep in mind, while this specific coin fetched $1.7 million, not every 2006 P will bring in that kind of money. For those of you out there hunting for this coin, it's important to note that the value is tied not only to the rarity of the error but also to its condition and certification. So, how do you spot this rare 2006 P Washington quarter? Let me walk you through it. The most significant clue is the double image effect caused by the die clash. Look carefully at the obverse of the coin, where Washington's profile is. You might see a faint outline of his face or other details duplicated slightly. It's subtle, but when you spot it, you'll know you've found something extraordinary. Take a good look at the edge of the coin too. Sometimes the die clash leaves faint, unintentional images there, as well. If you find these marks, you could be holding a coin worth thousands, or even millions. Now, if you've got one of these rare 2006p coins, what should you do next? Well, first things first, get it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like NGC or PCGS. Once that's done, your next step is to get it into the right auction house, where collectors are actively hunting for these elusive gems. And if you're just starting your coin collection, or you're on the hunt for these rare finds, make sure to keep your eyes peeled for Washington quarters from this era. While not every coin from 2006 is worth a fortune, understanding the mistakes that happened during production can help you find those hidden treasures. So, whether you're looking to invest in rare coins or just appreciate the fascinating world of numismatics, the 2006p Washington quarter with a clash die error is one coin you'll want to keep an eye out for. Remember, finding one of these could potentially be life-changing. Thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing coin finds, and let me know in the comments if you've ever come across a coin that turned out to be worth way more than you expected. Until next time, happy hunting! 2014 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar coin and how it could be worth up to $1.6 million. It's one of those coins that's flying under the radar, but could completely change the game for you if you know what to look for. Let's jump right in. First things first, let's talk about the basics of this coin. The Washington quarter is one of the most iconic coins in American history. It was first released in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday, and since then, it has been produced in various years, designs, and mint marks. The 2014 Washington quarter was part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which features designs representing national parks and other historical landmarks across the United States. The 2014 D Mint Mark Washington quarter features a design that represents the Great Sand Dunes National Park in Colorado. So, what makes this coin so special? Why is it worth so much money? Let's dig deeper. Now, let's talk about the value of the 2014 D Washington quarter. As you know, most quarters, especially newer ones, are worth face value, just 25 cents. But, and this is a big but, there are exceptions. The 2014 D Mint Mark Washington quarter is rare, but it's not just any rarity we're talking about. The value of a coin like this is tied to a few key factors: rarity, condition, and demand. In the case of the 2014 D Washington quarter, a mistake in production made some of these coins incredibly valuable. There's a unique variety of the 2014 D quarter, known as the D over D variety, where the mint mark was struck over another D mint mark, creating a double imprint. These types of errors are quite rare, which makes this specific coin extremely valuable to collectors. Here's where it gets interesting. The 2014 D Washington quarter is most notable for this rare D over D error. This error occurs when the minting process was slightly misaligned, causing the D mint mark to be struck over itself, resulting in a double impression. The result is a coin with a noticeable flaw, but that's exactly what makes it so valuable. Now, you might be wondering, how rare is this coin? Well, only a handful of these D over D error coins were produced. That's why it's so important to know what you're looking for. In the world of coin collecting, an error coin like this can be worth exponentially more than a standard coin, sometimes reaching values in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in rare cases, even surpassing the $1 million mark. Now, if you want to know if you have one of these valuable coins, there's a simple way to identify it. The key is the mint mark. Flip your quarter over and take a close look at the D mint mark. On a regular 2014 D quarter, the D mint mark will appear as a clean, single D just below the eagle's tail. But if you look closely at the D over D error coin, you'll notice that the mint mark looks slightly doubled. You might see two D letters, with one slightly off-center, giving it a unique and unmistakable look. To spot the error, you'll need a good magnifier or even a digital microscope. Trust me, this is an investment you'll want to make if you're serious about coin collecting. Now that you know how to identify this rare coin, you might be wondering, how much can I sell it for? Well, the market for error coins like the 2014 D Washington quarter is booming right now. Collectors and investors alike are constantly searching for these types of coins to add to their collections. Depending on the condition of the coin, the value can range widely. If you have one in pristine condition, it could easily fetch a price of $50,000 or more. But in some rare cases, well-preserved D/D era coins have been sold for upwards of $1.60 million. But there's a catch. The better the coin's condition, the more valuable it becomes. If your coin has been worn down or damaged, the value will decrease significantly. So, it's really important to keep your coins in great shape and get them professionally graded. Speaking of grading, let's talk about professional coin grading for a moment. If you think you've found one of these valuable 2014 D-era quarters, it's a good idea to get it graded by a professional coin grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. These services will evaluate the condition of your coin and assign it a grade. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin will be. For example, a coin with a grade of MS67 or higher can be worth significantly more than a coin with a grade of MS62 or lower. If you find a coin in flawless condition, you could be sitting on a fortune. Okay, so let's say you've found one of these rare coins, you've had it graded, and now you're wondering, where do I sell it? Well, there are a few great places to sell your coin. You can sell it through online auction platforms like eBay, where rare coins often fetch top dollar. You can also sell it at numismatic auctions, where collectors and investors gather to buy and sell valuable coins. Another option is to work with a reputable coin dealer who specializes in rare and era coins. Just be sure to get multiple appraisals before selling to ensure you're getting the best price for your coin. So, to recap, the 2014 D Washington quarter is not just a regular coin, it's a rare piece of history with the potential to be worth a small fortune. If you find one with the D/D mint mark error, you could be looking at a coin worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. Remember, the key is knowing how to spot the error, keeping your coin in top condition, and getting it professionally graded. Who knows, your next coin could be the one that makes you a millionaire. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more coin collecting tips and tricks. 2015 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar Coin. Now you might be thinking, wait, isn't that just a regular quarter? Well, this is where it gets interesting. This seemingly ordinary coin has sold for a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. But how? Stick around as we explore the fascinating world of rare coins and how this quarter reached that massive value. In 2015, the United States Mint produced millions of Washington quarters, but only a small handful are worth a fortune. Let's break it down and see why. First, let's start with the basics. The 2015 P Washington Quarter Dollar coin was part of a series called the America the Beautiful Quarters program. The coin features the classic design of George Washington, but what sets it apart is its mint mark, the letter P, indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. In 2015, the U.S. Mint released 5 different designs in the series, each representing a different national park or landmark. But not every coin from this series will make you rich. The 2015 P quarter isn't rare on its own, millions were minted. But as we'll get into, it's a few specific examples that carry a truly remarkable value. Here's where the real excitement begins. A particular 2015 P Washington quarter, graded at the highest possible level, was sold for an astounding $1.9 million. So, how did this one coin get to such an astronomical value? This rare coin wasn't just any 2015 P Mint Mark Washington quarter. It was one that had a unique error, a double die error. Now, what does that mean exactly? A double die error happens when a coin is struck twice by the dies at slightly different angles. This results in some parts of the design being doubled. In the case of the 2015 P Washington quarter, the error was visible in the lettering and on George Washington's bust, making it a highly collectible piece. Collectors go wild for double die errors because they're incredibly rare. You might only come across 1 or 2 in an entire year. And when you find one in near-perfect condition, like the $1.9 million coin, the value skyrockets. Now, let's talk about coin grading. This is another major factor that can drastically affect the value of your coins. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. The 2015 P. Washington quarter that sold for $1.9 million was graded at a perfect MS-70 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, or PCGS. A grade of MS-70 means the coin is in pristine, uncirculated condition with no visible flaws. This is what makes the $1.9 million sale so exceptional. Not only did it have a rare error, but it was also in perfect condition. Okay. So how do you spot valuable quarters like this in your own collection or pocket change? It's not easy, but here are a few tips. First, check the mint mark. The 2015 P quarter specifically is worth watching, but be sure to look for other years and mint marks that are rare, such as the 1932D and 1932S Washington quarters. Look for noticeable errors, double dies, misprints, or even off-center strikes. And most importantly, get your coins graded. A coin in high-grade condition, like MS-70, could be worth much more than a lower-grade version. If you've found a coin that you think might be worth something, what do you do next? Selling rare coins can be tricky, but there are a few options. You can check online auction sites like eBay, or go to professional dealers who specialize in rare coins. For coins with major value, you'll want to have them authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. This adds credibility and can help fetch top dollar at auction. To wrap up, the 2015 P. Washington quarter dollar is a perfect example of how a small minting error combined with high-grade condition can lead to a life-changing amount of money. While most quarters are just pocket change, there are always rare gems waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights into the world of rare coins. Who knows, the next fortune might just be sitting in your coin jar.